It's difficult to describe the game No Delivery without giving away too much of what makes it not only unique, but special. At its heart, it is an exploration-focused roguelite built with RPG Maker. I mean, the rogue element is random rooms as you explore the wrong turns, what the game refers to as its dungeons, and that alone is impressive enough. But where I find it really shines is in how it conveys the lore and the story of the world you're in. Or, rather, the lack of how it does. Strange, I know, coming from a guy who trumpets story over gameplay constantly, but hear me out. No Delivery conveys the story in such a way that you're always feeling a sense of general unease, or even dread, without relying on normal, standard horror tropes or mechanics. It's odd, gory, pepperoni greasy, and just all around weird, but in such a way that I was compelled to play to find another morsel of history about the Stazzoni pizzeria. I honestly have very few complaints for the game, which is rare. Other than some technical issues and glitches, mostly with the few particular scripts that are known to have issues, I have little ill to speak of about the game. This is kind of odd, as the game not only captivates me in such a way, but leaves me without much negative to harp about. But it's me, so there's always something I can complain about. When you complete the game and finally get 100%, you unlock the final playable character. But it leaves you with almost a what's the point sensation. You've already done everything in the game to completion. Also, the unique mechanic in the game is that if you die, you simply get replaced with a new employee who can be one of several jobs with skills unique to that job. Problem is, if you manage to get the waitress, she's practically unstoppable. After the intro character and my first character had died, I managed to get her as the new hire. Her attacks use very common items, and her extra skill book ramps her up to an 11. I literally did not die for the rest of the game. So while there were some hectic moments, if you manage things well and farm balloons for materials, then you are golden, Ponyboy. I guess that's another slightly negative thing to talk about. Every skill requires some sort of item to use. With the waitress, all I had to do was farm balloons, end my shift for the day, heal to full, and do it all over again the next day, and I had an infinite amount of skill items. Lore is found all throughout the game world, and it gets dark. The more you find about the history and the inhabitants of the pizzeria, the deeper into the rabbit hole you end up. And honestly, even after getting 100%, I'm still left with a feeling of unease and like I'm missing something. I loved it. All the dungeons are random as you explore them. The wrong turn aspect, how the game describes this dungeon, the whole thing's great. You could end up on Easy Street or fighting for your life. It's a small and condensed game world. The pizzeria opens up organically, and it's almost impossible to get lost, but there will be a lot of backtracking as circles run before the game is over. There are tons of secrets. Look everywhere, find all the items, read the newspapers, find your coworkers. Once you've hired the waitress, you will never want to go back. She has a strong heal and can unlock a double attack. She's literally the game's easy mode. And once she was around, it was almost impossible to die. Finding every ending can be difficult, as it should be, but some are a little more obscure and you may end up walking around in circles for quite a while trying to figure out what it was that you missed. There's a multiple choice minigame, and I don't know if other characters get this or not, I only got it on the waitress, but on a few days after completing a wrong turn, I ended up in a multiple choice minigame. I got rewards or nothing for my answers, but my only issue? It only happened twice for me, and it would have been nice to see it happen more. As I mentioned before, the negatives of this game are very few and far in between, but they are kinda there. The final playable character is unlocked only at 100%. That's awesome, it's a great character, except now, what really is the point of playing through it all over again? The plugins used can bug out fairly often. It's an issue with the plugin more than the game, but it can result in some very frustrating moments of gameplay, and there was one point where I almost lost to a boss because of it. So all things said and done, No Delivery is not a game phoning it in. It serves up a hot, delicious slice of excellent, creepy gameplay at an excellent price. It's densely packed with delicious morsels of story and unease, and I consumed it at a voracious pace. If you're a fan of the unusual and the macabre, then order it immediately. Just remember, there's no delivery. I'm HawkZombie. Thanks for listening.